Good morning, my friends. How are you feeling today? When you stood up out of bed, did your legs feel steady and strong or a little heavier than last week? I want you to pause for a second and think about that. Because what you feel in your legs each morning tells a story, sometimes a story we do not notice until it is too far along. If you eat breakfast most days, type 1 in the comments. If you usually skip breakfast, type 0. I read every one of these, and your answers help me know what to share with you next time. I am Dr. William Johnson. You are watching Lifewell Seniors, where each week I bring you senior wellness tips that you can actually use in real life. Today's topic is one I feel strongly about. We are going to talk about the very first thing you eat in the morning and why it might decide whether your legs stay strong and mobile for the years ahead or quietly weaken until one day you notice you are grabbing the railing a little tighter. Here is my promise to you. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what kinds of breakfasts give your muscles the fuel they need to keep you balanced, confident, and independent. You will also get a few bonus morning habits that will multiply those benefits. And at the very end, I will give you an insider tip that I have used with many of my patients, a simple addition to breakfast that most people never think about. So if you want to move through your 60s, 70s, and beyond without fear of losing your footing, stay with me until the last second. Let us start with a fact that can be a little hard to hear after about the age of 60. Most people lose around 1% of their muscle mass every year. The legs are hit hardest. They are large muscles, and they are used constantly, but they also weaken fastest. Muscle loss does not ask your permission. It creeps in quietly until simple things like climbing stairs or getting up from a chair start to feel harder. Here's the good news: we can fight back. And the fight can start with your very first meal of the day. Breakfast is not just about energy. If we do it right, it is about giving our muscles what they need in the exact window when they are most ready to absorb it. That is what today's plan is all about. Now, let us look closer at why breakfast plays such a big role in keeping your legs strong, why leg muscles slip after 60, and why breakfast matters. As we age, there are a few changes that work against us. First, our bodies naturally produce less growth hormone and less testosterone, even in women. These hormones are important for maintaining muscle. Second, our nerves and muscles communicate a little less efficiently, which means we lose some of our balance and coordination. And third, something most people do not realize after a night of fasting: our muscles are especially hungry for protein. If we skip breakfast, we miss the best opportunity of the day to feed them. Think about your legs like the foundation of a house. If the foundation weakens, it does not matter how nice the rest of the house looks. It will not feel secure. Every step you take, every time you sit down or stand up, you rely on the strength of your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. When we skip that morning protein, the body has no choice but to keep breaking down muscle tissue for its amino acids. Over time, that daily breakdown adds up. The result: weaker legs, slower walking speed, more difficulty balancing, and a higher risk of falls. In my clinic, I saw a gentleman named Robert. I will change the name for privacy. He came in at age 72. He told me he felt fine, but his wife noticed he was slowing down. We tested his leg strength and found he had lost a surprising amount in the past year. When I asked about breakfast, he admitted he usually just had coffee and maybe a slice of toast. We changed that to a protein-first breakfast, about 25 to 30 grams of quality protein within the first hour of waking. We added one simple leg activation habit before leaving the bedroom. 12 weeks later, his walking speed and balance scores improved noticeably. There is research to back this up. Large clinical studies have shown that older adults who consume protein in the morning maintain more muscle, walk faster, and have fewer falls. Morning protein seems to turn on muscle protein synthesis, the body's process of building new muscle, more effectively in older adults than the same protein eaten later in the day. So, if you think of breakfast as just coffee or just something light, I want you to think again. Breakfast is your golden window. You slept for 6, 7, maybe 8 hours. Your body has been running on stored fuel. Your muscles are ready to pull in amino acids and use them right away. Give them that gift. And if you are still with me so far, Type 1 in the comments so I know you're here and engaged. Now, let us go through the 7 protein first breakfast options I recommend most to my patients, each one tested, practical, and tailored to senior wellness tips that actually fit real life. 7. Protein first breakfast options for stronger legs. Now, my friends, let us get into the heart of today's senior wellness tips, the actual foods that can help keep your leg muscles strong and steady. These are not exotic or expensive. They are foods you can find in almost any grocery store in the United States. I have chosen them for 3 reasons. They provide high-quality protein, they are easy to prepare, and they work well for the needs of older adults. I will also give you small, practical tweaks so you can make each one fit your taste and your health goals. Let us walk through them one by one. Number 1, milk with whey and casein. You might be thinking, milk? Really? Doctor? Yes, but I am not talking about just any milk. I'm talking about milk that gives you both whey protein and casein protein. Whey is digested quickly, delivering a rapid burst of amino acids to your muscles. Casein digests more slowly, providing a steady stream of building blocks over several hours. Think of it as a tag team. Whey starts the muscle repair process right away, and casein keeps feeding your muscles as the morning goes on. This is especially helpful after age 60, when our bodies do not store and use amino acids as efficiently as they once did. How to use it? If you like a simple start, pour yourself 1 cup of protein-fortified milk first thing in the morning. If you enjoy cereal, choose an unsweetened whole grain option or steel-cut oats, then pour the milk over it. For a more filling choice, blend 1 cup of milk with half a banana, a small handful of berries, and a scoop of protein powder for an extra boost. If you're sensitive to lactose, there are plant-based options that work well: almond milk, soy milk, or pea protein milk fortified with extra protein. Make sure you choose one with at least 8 to 10 grams of protein per cup and no added sugars. Always check the label. Science note: a study in the journal Nutrients found that older adults who drank milk with both whey and casein in the morning maintained more muscle and had fewer falls over a 12-month period than those who did not. Number 2, green banana and almond butter smoothie. This is a great option if your mornings are busy and you like to sip and go. Green bananas are not just unripe bananas, they are rich in resistant starch, a type of fiber that helps keep your blood sugar steady. That matters for muscle health because stable blood sugar allows your body to use protein more effectively for muscle repair. Almond butter adds plant-based protein and healthy fats that help you absorb vitamins like vitamin D, which supports muscle strength and balance. It also makes the smoothie creamy and satisfying. How to make it? Half of a green banana peeled and sliced, 1 tablespoon of unsweetened almond butter, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or low-fat cow's milk, 1 scoop of protein powder optional, a few ice cubes, and a pinch of cinnamon if you like extra flavor. Blend until smooth. In less than 5 minutes, you have a breakfast that supports your muscles, your heart, and your energy. Science note: a 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that older adults who included nut-based fats like almond butter with their morning protein had better leg strength and faster walking speed. Number 3, cooked lentils. Lentils are humble, inexpensive, and incredibly powerful. 1 cup of cooked lentils gives you about 18 grams of protein, along with iron and fiber. The protein feeds your muscles, the iron helps your blood carry oxygen to them, and the fiber supports healthy digestion. Low iron is common in older adults, especially women, and can cause fatigue and leg weakness. Lentils are a soft, easy to chew way to get more iron and protein at the same time. How to enjoy them? Cook a batch at the start of the week and keep them in the fridge. In the morning, heat half a cup to 1 cup, drizzle with olive oil, and season with turmeric or cumin for an extra boost. Add a poached egg on top. Science note: the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine reported that older adults who ate legumes at least 4 times a week had better lower body strength and faster walking speed than those who rarely ate them. Number 4, protein waffles or pancakes. Yes, you can enjoy waffles if you make them with purpose. Protein waffles are made with a mix of protein powder, eggs, unsweetened oat milk, and blended oats. This combination gives you complete protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats without the blood sugar spikes of regular waffles. How to make them. In a blender, combine 1 scoop of protein powder, 2 eggs, half a cup of blended oats, and 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened oat milk. Pour into a heated waffle iron or skillet for pancakes. Top with fresh berries and a sprinkle of chopped walnuts for antioxidants and omega-3 fats. Science note: a 2021 study in diabetes care found that older adults who ate a high-protein, low-glycemic breakfast had better blood sugar control and retained more lean muscle. Number 5, boiled eggs. The boiled egg is simple, familiar, and extremely effective. Each large egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein and is rich in leucine, an amino acid that acts as a trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Without enough leucine, your body cannot effectively start building muscle, no matter how much total protein you eat. How to use them. Boil 6 to 8 eggs at the start of the week. In the morning, eat 2 eggs plain. Slice them over whole grain toast, or pair with avocado for extra healthy fats. Science note: the Journal of Nutrition notes that older adults benefit most from about 25 grams of high-quality protein per meal, with at least 2 to 3 grams of leucine. 2 to 3 eggs in the morning help reach that target. Number 6, oatmeal with chia seeds. Oats keep you full and help keep blood sugar steady, which supports muscle recovery. Chia seeds add 5 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons, plus omega-3 fats, magnesium, and potassium. These nutrients reduce inflammation, support nerve function, and prevent muscle cramps. How to prepare it. Cook half a cup of rolled oats in water or milk. Stir in 1 tablespoon of chia seeds while hot so they soften. Top with blueberries or strawberries for antioxidants. And add a drizzle of honey if you like. Science note: a 2022 study in nutrients found that older adults who ate oats with anti-inflammatory ingredients like berries and chia seeds had less morning stiffness and faster recovery after activity. Number 7, steamed sweet potatoes with mineral salt. Sweet potatoes provide complex carbohydrates that refill your muscle glycogen after a night's fast. Adding mineral salt gives you electrolytes magnesium, potassium, and calcium that your muscles need to contract and relax properly. How to prepare. Steam slices of sweet potato the night before. In the morning, warm them up and sprinkle lightly with pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. Add a drizzle of olive oil or a dash of cinnamon if you like. Science note: research in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy shows that combining complex carbs with electrolytes in the morning reduces leg heaviness and improves balance scores in older adults. If you're finding a favorite among these, tell me in the comments which one you would try first. Your feedback helps me design more senior wellness tips that match your tastes. Morning habits to boost breakfast benefits. Now that you know which protein-first breakfasts can protect your leg muscles, let us make those meals work even harder for you. This is where the right morning habits come in. These are small, intentional actions you can add before and after breakfast. They require no expensive equipment, no gym membership, and very little time. But they can multiply the benefits of the foods we just discussed. Remember, what you eat is important, but how you prepare your body to use that nutrition can make the difference between just getting by and truly thriving. Number 1, light leg massage before getting out of bed. Before you even put your feet on the floor, take 1 or 2 minutes to gently massage your calves and thighs. You can use your hands or a soft foam roller if you have one. Why do this overnight? Your circulation slows down, and muscles can feel stiff when you first wake up. Light massage increases blood flow, warms the tissues, and tells your nervous system, we are about to move. Think of it as giving your legs a gentle wake-up call before you ask them to carry you through the day. Many older adults report that this simple habit reduces morning stiffness and makes walking to the kitchen feel smoother. Number 2, warm water with a pinch of mineral salt. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is slightly dehydrated. Even mild dehydration can reduce muscle performance, coordination, and balance. Adding a pinch of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt to your morning water restores essential electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and sodium. These minerals help your muscles contract and relax properly, and they also support nerve signals that control balance. If you sometimes wake up with calf cramps or tingling toes, this might be the missing link. Pour yourself 1 cup of warm water. Add a very small pinch of mineral salt. Stir and sip it slowly. This is not about drinking large amounts all at once. It is about rehydrating gently and effectively. Number 3, weekly check-in on leg strength and balance. Muscle loss after 60 can be sneaky. You may not notice it until it starts to limit daily activities. That is why I recommend keeping a simple weekly log. Once a week, at the same time of day, make a quick note of how heavy or light your legs feel, how easy it is to stand from a chair without using your hands. Whether your balance feels steady or wobbly, you can use a small notebook, your phone, or even a sticky note on the fridge. Tracking changes helps you catch early warning signs so you can adjust your exercise or nutrition before the problem grows. Number 4, 3 minutes of gentle leg activation before heading to the kitchen for breakfast. Take just 3 minutes to turn on your leg muscles. These do not have to be intense exercises. The goal is to connect your brain and muscles so they are ready for movement. Here is a simple sequence. While sitting, raise each leg 5 times, holding for 2 seconds at the top. Roll each ankle in circles, 5 times clockwise and 5 times counterclockwise. Stand and do 5 gentle calf raises, slowly lifting onto your toes and lowering back down. This wakes up your neuromuscular pathways and can improve coordination for the rest of the day. Think of it as flipping the light switch before walking into the room. Number 5, slow transitions from bed to standing. This may sound too simple to matter, but it is one of the most important fall prevention habits I can give you. When you wake up, do not spring out of bed. Sit up slowly, plant your feet on the floor, and wait a few seconds before standing. Why? Older adults are more likely to experience a drop in blood pressure when going from lying down to standing, something called orthostatic hypotension. It can cause dizziness, lightheadedness, or even a fall. Those extra few seconds allow your circulation to adjust and your balance to stabilize. Putting it all together, here is what a full breakfast boost routine could look like in less than 10 minutes. Wake up and give your calves and thighs a 1-minute massage. Sip 1 cup of warm water with a pinch of mineral salt. Do your 3-minute leg activation sequence. Make your chosen protein first breakfast. Enjoy it slowly, without rushing, so your digestion and nutrient absorption are at their best. This is not about adding more pressure to your morning. It is about creating a small chain of habits that protect your strength and balance for the long term. If you are still with me, comment the word "still" here, so I know you are committed to your own strength. And if you try any of these habits this week, let me know which one makes the biggest difference for you. Next, we will move into part 5, the science behind muscle loss after 60 and how breakfast fits into your overall senior wellness plan. This is where I will connect the dots between what you feel in your legs and what is happening inside your body. The science behind muscle loss after 60 and how breakfast fits into your overall senior wellness plan. Now that we have covered your protein-first breakfast options and the morning habits that make them even more effective, let us step back and look at the bigger picture. Understanding why muscle loss happens and why breakfast plays such a unique role will give you the motivation to follow through, even on mornings when you feel like skipping it. The silent thief, sarcopenia. After the age of about 60, our bodies enter a natural process called sarcopenia. This is the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function. It can begin earlier for some people, but after 60 it accelerates unless we take active steps to slow it down. Sarcopenia is not just about weaker muscles. It affects your metabolism, your balance, your independence, and even your ability to recover from illness or injury. Here is the hard truth. If you lose too much muscle, even small challenges like getting out of a chair, stepping up a curb, or catching yourself after tripping can turn into serious risks. This is why I always tell my patients, your legs are your independence. Why leg muscles go first. Your legs are home to some of the largest muscles in your body. The quadriceps in the front of your thighs, the hamstrings in the back, the glutes in your hips, and the calves, because they are so large. They require constant use and fuel to stay strong. But when your activity level drops, maybe because of joint pain, fear of falling, or simple habit, your body starts breaking down those muscle fibers for energy. Without enough daily stimulation and enough protein to repair and rebuild, the decline happens faster in the legs than almost anywhere else. The role of protein in slowing sarcopenia. Protein is made up of amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. One amino acid, in particular leucine, is like the ignition key for muscle building. Without enough leucine, your body cannot turn on muscle protein synthesis effectively, no matter how much total protein you eat. Older adults actually need more protein per meal than younger people to get the same muscle building effect. Research suggests that around 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal, with at least 2.5 grams of leucine, is the sweet spot for most people over 60. This is where breakfast becomes so powerful. After 7 to 8 hours of fasting overnight, your muscles are primed to absorb and use protein. This is called the anabolic window, a short period after waking when your body is most responsive to the signals that say, build, do not break down. Why skipping breakfast speeds muscle loss? If you skip breakfast, your body stays in a fasted state for several more hours with no incoming amino acids. Your body starts breaking down its own muscle tissue to release them into your bloodstream. Over months and years, this small daily loss adds up. You might not notice much at first, maybe just a little more effort climbing stairs or standing from the floor, but by the time it becomes obvious, you have already lost a significant amount of strength. That is why I tell my patients, the cost of skipping breakfast after 60 is much higher than you think. Breakfast as part of a senior wellness strategy. Eating a protein-first breakfast is not just a standalone habit. It is a cornerstone of a complete senior wellness plan. Here is how it connects with other pillars of healthy aging. Nutrition-balanced meals throughout the day maintain steady blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and provide the nutrients your muscles, bones, and nerves need. Movement. Combining protein-rich meals with regular strength and balance exercises creates a powerful feedback loop. Muscles get the stimulus to grow and the building materials to rebuild. Recovery, adequate sleep, hydration, and stress management allow your body to repair muscle fibers more effectively. Fall prevention. Stronger legs and better balance directly reduce your risk of falls, which are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalization in older adults. What the science says. Let me share 2 key studies that shape my recommendations. A 12-month study in the journal Nutrients found that older adults who consumed whey and casein protein within an hour of waking retained significantly more leg muscle mass and had a 30% lower risk of falls than those who delayed protein until later in the day. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that spreading protein intake evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner instead of eating most of it at dinner improved muscle protein synthesis by over 25% in adults over 65. Both studies tell us the same story. Timing matters, and breakfast is prime time for protecting your strength. A real-life example, one of my patients, Linda, age 74, came to me worried about feeling unstable on her morning walks. She was already eating healthy overall, but she skipped breakfast most days. We adjusted her routine, 10 minutes of light leg activation before breakfast, a protein-first meal within 45 minutes of waking, aiming for 25 grams of protein, hydration with a pinch of mineral salt before eating. In 3 months, Linda reported feeling steadier, walking farther without fatigue, and even climbing the stairs at her church without holding the rail. So, when you think about senior wellness tips, remember this. Muscle health is not just about lifting weights or taking supplements. It starts with what you put on your plate in the morning and how you pair that with simple, consistent habits. If you have learned something new so far, type morning power in the comments. I want to see how many of you are ready to take breakfast seriously from now on. Next, in part 6, we will put everything together: your breakfasts, your habits, and your understanding of the science into a daily routine you can follow for life. We have covered a lot together: the best protein-first breakfast options, the small but powerful morning habits, and the science that explains why these steps matter so much after 60. Now, let us bring it all together into one clear, realistic daily routine. This is something you can start tomorrow morning, without special equipment, without expensive ingredients, and without turning your life upside down. Your Strong Legs for Life morning routine. Step 1. Gentle wake up 2 minutes. As soon as you wake up, sit comfortably on the edge of your bed. Use your hands to gently massage your calves and thighs for about 1 minute each. This boosts circulation and tells your muscles it is time to move. Step 2, rehydrate and rebalance 2 minutes. Pour 1 cup of warm water. Add a very small pinch of pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. Sip slowly while you take a few deep breaths. This restores hydration and key electrolytes, helping prevent morning cramps or dizziness. Step 3, leg activation 3 minutes. Do this short sequence before you leave the bedroom. While sitting, lift each leg 5 times, holding for 2 seconds at the top. Roll each ankle in a circle, 5 times in each direction. Stand and do 5 slow calf raises. This connects your brain to your muscles and improves coordination for the rest of the day. Step 4, protein first breakfast, 15-20 minutes. Within about 45 minutes of waking, eat one of the protein-rich breakfasts we discussed in part 3. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of total protein and at least 2.5 grams of leucine. Here are some examples. 2 boiled eggs with a side of steamed sweet potatoes and a sprinkle of mineral salt. Protein waffle topped with fresh berries and chopped walnuts. A smoothie with green banana, almond butter, and fortified almond milk. Step 5, mindful eating. Take your time. Chew slowly. Pay attention to how your food tastes and how it makes you feel. This is not just about calories. It is about giving your body the fuel it needs to move with confidence all day. Why this routine works. You are waking up your muscles gently, restoring hydration, activating the neuromuscular system, and then feeding your body exactly what it needs during the most responsive part of your day. It is a complete package. And once it becomes habit, you will do it almost automatically, like brushing your teeth, but with benefits that protect your strength, your balance, and your independence. A word on consistency. If you are thinking, I will try this when I have more time, let me share something important. The results come from repetition, not perfection. Even if you cannot do every step every single day, do as much as you can, as often as you can. Missing one morning will not undo your progress, but missing most mornings will slow your results. Remember, your body is always listening. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 85, it will respond to care and consistency. A little known tip for faster results. Here is something I do not hear many people talk about. Pairing your breakfast with 10 minutes of light walking or simple stretching about 20 minutes afterward can help your body use the nutrients more effectively. This gentle movement improves circulation, speeds nutrient delivery to your muscles, and can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes. Think of it as sealing the deal on your breakfast investment. I want to pause and say thank you truly. Thank you for staying with me all the way through this video. That tells me you care about your health and you are willing to take action. If this video gave you a new idea or reminded you of something important, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so you never miss our next lesson. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which part of this routine will you start with tomorrow morning? Leave your answer in the comments. Remember, you do not need to do it all at once. Just start. Even one change can begin to turn the tide in your favor. Take care of yourself. Keep moving. And I will see you in the next video.